Welcome to Digital Champions TV, where we get insights from emerging leaders in advertising and marketing. I'm Greg Kirkham, and today we're exploring digital marketing strategies with Stephen Kommer, the owner of Ascension Digital Marketing based in Scottsdale, Arizona. Welcome, Stephen. It's great.
Thank you for having me, Greg. Really appreciate it, and definitely looking forward to a great conversation.
Awesome. Well, Stephen, I've got to know, where did Ascension Digital Marketing start out? What are its roots?
So its roots actually were with an agency that I had started whenever I was 14 that specialized in web design and SEO called e-commerce digital marketing. And then it got a couple years down the road, started to bring on other additional co-founders. And I rebranded because I didn't want my name to be the core of the brand, which is mildly ironic because pretty much everything today has been, for the last several years, has been through my personal brand. But we started out doing web design and SEO originally, did that for a couple of years. Then Facebook ads started to get big and have been on that train ever since. So once we rebranded and became more of a comprehensive online marketing solutions company, we then wanted to obviously, incorporate additional services. Facebook has been that mainstay for a very long time. But I started in 2012 doing web design and SEO for local service-based businesses in my area at the time in the suburbs of Pittsburgh. And now, obviously, you can see I'm out here in Scottsdale, Arizona. But over the course of that time, we've worked with over 1,540 different companies, brands, entrepreneurs, people of interest, and then across actually 14 dozen different niches, industries, and verticals. And the reason we've been able to have that kind of success across that kind of bandwidth industry-wise has been because every business, regardless of the business model, regardless of what they sell, regardless of who they help, all rely on the same three things. And that's going to be your inputs, the things that are responsible for generating you revenue, your outputs, which are the things that you as the company or the provider have to offer once that revenue is generated. And then the third and most forgotten and most critical one is the balancing act of both. Whenever you are actively trying to generate more business, but also have the back end support on after the transaction, so that way you aren't overloading with sales and then letting your reputation get hurt by lack of fulfillment, lack of quality, whatever. But a good back end doesn't matter if you don't have inputs, right? So it's that really tactful balancing act that has always eluded so many people that we've been fortunate enough to help so many with predictably and consistently over that time.
Yeah, and that's something that over the years I've always told people is, you can have the best top of funnel in the world, but if you don't have the fulfillment in place, you're overselling and you're essentially just tanking anyway, right? And so you're really into making sure that both the top of funnel as well as the fulfillment are both very well balanced, it sounds like.
100%. And the reason being is we've actually lost more clients from over delivering than under delivering. So whenever, we're working with e-com brands of all sorts or local service-based businesses, for instance, there's a mobile detailing company back in Pittsburgh where I had previously been full-time, where they were doing like 1 to 2 cars a day, maybe 10K a month. Now they're doing 5 to 7 cars a day and doing 42-ish K a month in revenue. Now they have to get extra trucks, extra hands, all these things. But we realized it was a problem whenever he's like, hey, I'm booked like 2.5 to 3 weeks out consistently. Like, we can't do this because we're going to start losing jobs. And I was like, you're 100% right. And thank you for letting me know that we're this booked out. Ultimately, you have to start facilitating more on the back end. Otherwise, the front end is just going to get hurt more and more and more. The biggest thing that has always helped me over the course of this decade and change I've been in the space has been reputation. We're 80% referral based. The only way to maintain a good reputation is that if the people that you are all collectively servicing have a positive experience. You can be servicing people poorly, and that translates to a negative experience. And you don't want that working against you when you are trying to improve and get more market share, right? So that's really been one of those things where we have to be dialed in with the businesses that we work with. That's also why, in large part, we do have fees and whatever on the front end, but we are also performance-based marketers, right? We know how good of a job we can do, but that also requires us knowing hey, it's not just about driving sales. If they can't manage the sales that are being generated to have the same high quality output that was before when there wasn't that scale, you're going to suffer. And then you're actually going to be working backwards. Then you have to work to fix the reputation. You have to make peace with your customers or your prospects, the market, what have you. It's a lose-lose whenever you sell too much too fast. The long game always wins. And that means you have to be patient.
It really does, and it's wonderful being able to get these insights straight from the source too, from you, Stephen. So thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. To connect with Ascension Digital Marketing and learn more about Stephen Kommer's work, visit digitalchampionstv.com.